Oh boy.
Oof.
After what feels like years, we are back for Adventures in Aanthara Session 6. The sequel to What in the Sweet Hell Happened in Session 5. So, briefly recapping up to that point, our group of adventurers successfully rescued the Proward children from the clutches of a large band of these Blightling creatures, and began to travel south with them back to Proward, found a nice little camp, seemed to be going great, and then they were set upon by a band of orc bandits, and things did not go according to plan for anyone, not the orcs, not the group, and not me, or the certain characters. Long story short, Seraph died, and was then raised. Yosnip apparently turned into some other kind of creature. The circlet on one of the children, Clazen, was forcibly and accidentally removed by an orc, but fortunately, that revealed that it was not a life-threatening circumstance for the circlets to come off, which means that all of the circlets were taken off, the children were awakened, and 3 new companions joined the group at the last moment and in just the nick of time as well. Mayor Maddock, Mother Mia, lots of M's there, I didn't realize, and Daniel, the eldest Hopacross. Also, apparently, Clayson knows Yosnip very well. So that is where we stand. Currently, people are kind of recovering or recouping. Mayor Maddock was making piles of orc bodies. He had just had a quick conversation with Yosnip and his potential family member. So, let me quickly summarize a few things that you guys don't know, because I feel that's important before we start the session. So, Eclipse, can you roll me 2 history checks, both at disadvantage?
What?
Yes.
Earl.
This is gonna go great.
What don't you know?
How do I know what I don't know?
Okay,
do I know?
one is a 4, so the first one's a
Okay.
4.
Let's go.
Okay.
Nice.
Beautiful.
And the second one is also a 4.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay. So,
That tracks pretty well. I don't know.
you have read a good amount, and been educated pretty thoroughly on a wide variety of things. You are in the same boat as everyone else here, which is none of you have ever seen a creature that looks like what was revealed by the moonbeam before.
Okay.
Some of you may have heard stories of creatures that could change shape, perhaps, or alter their appearance. But you certainly have never met anyone that could do that without just using certain spells that you may be aware of if you're a caster. But certainly you don't know of, never have met, and have not even heard of a creature that could do that at will. So, all you guys really know in regards to Yosnip is that a spell came down from the sky, hit him, and his form shifted from that of a gray-skinned tiefling to that of a white-skinned... You don't know. You really have no idea. Additionally, in the last session, Yosnip briefly changed his form from Mayor Maddock, but I don't think any of you guys would have seen that because it would have kind of been around the rock. And from behind, you really don't see that much change because his clothes all stay the same. So I'm going to say that all you know is that he suddenly reverted to this white-skinned form, and you don't know how, what it means, or what he really is. You do know that the young boy, one of the young boys you saved, the Verdun, ran to him and shouted a name, which was not the name you know. So that's also confusing. So that's what you don't know about Yasnip. In regards to Seraph, nobody except for Brightwing really knows anything other than that he died in the battle.
I don't even know that.
Brightwing. True. That is true. You were knocked out.
True.
I also don't even know that Yasnip had the ability to transform.
Yes,
I was
that's
fucking
correct.
dead.
In fact, we'll get to a point where, yeah, you're just now seeing him for the first time in this other form. In fact, you may not even know who he is. And as I recall, Eclipse didn't see that happen either. She was busy fighting a guy on the other side of the battle.
Yep.
So really, yeah,
So
neither
this all
of you
tracks.
yeah, necessarily knows what's going on here.
Right when you see
Brightwing.
that shit, that was crazy.
Brightwing does know the mechanics, for lack of a better word, of her magic,
Mm-hmm.
and you feel that your spell did not catch in the way that it should,
Okay.
and to you that indicates that Seraph may be a creature of a type outside of the norm, one of potentially two specifically that you know, an undead or a construct.
With that, because I know I rolled a natural 20 on that, +7.
Uh-huh.
With the other stuff that I've noticed from Seraph, like him not sleeping, him not eating, does that dictate more of which would it rather be?
I would say actually not really, because you really don't know too much of construct creatures,
That's fair.
aka like automatons,
Mm-hmm.
except for the one you just met on the road
That's true.
a day ago. But just from basic guesswork, you would suppose that they might also have a similar lack of need for sleeping or eating or drinking. So it could be either of those things, and to a degree, the fact that those things apply to both types of creatures is why this spell doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So there is some crossover there, and you're not sure necessarily. You're certainly willing to talk or inspect or whatever else you want to do to find out, but that's where you stand on Seraph. And also, you guys don't know the nature of the circlets. All you know is that removing them allowed the children to wake up, but beyond that, you don't necessarily know how they work. So, that is where we stand. It is about midnight-ish, very middle of the night. And all of you can be wherever you want to be around the campsite. I would say a fire has been started up again. What would you all like to do?
Oh, there's a fire? Like, we're chilling?
Yeah, you guys had a campfire.
Yeah, we're having a good time.
So it's remade.
No.
Oh, balls.
Oh, I will say one other thing you don't know. And I don't know if everybody has noticed this necessarily, but some of you have noticed some casting ability from some of the children at least.
Yeah.
And I think a couple of you have seen it from multiple. The only one that no one has seen anything from is Molly.
Right.
So there's also that. Now, what would you guys
No,
like to do?
Molly did she healed me.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Daisy. Daisy has not done anything. Yeah, thank you.
Yasnip is probably very focused on Clayson. Literally to a point where he hasn't left his side since he woke up. And for the time being is kind of avoiding a lot of things. He's considering and just even looking at him in a form, and he is in his tiefling form. He's definitely thinking. Like, there's a lot going on in his head, but it's casual conversation between him and Clayson, trying to figure out what's going on, essentially.
Okay. I will throw one more thing into the mix, since you're in tiefling form. Vana, similarly to how Brightwing understands the mechanics of her magic, you know that the white-skinned form that you saw is Yasnip's true form, because that's one of the effects of the spell. You don't know how he's altered back into this tiefling form or why, but you do know, that is one thing you do know, is that the white-skinned creature is the true form. No one else knows that.
Neat.
I would say at this point, Seraph is sitting by the fire, absent-mindedly trying to fix his bullshit, dumbass, stupid gun that for some reason he thought was a good idea. So yeah, that's kind of what he's doing.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a check.
Good.
Oh, can I give him guidance? I don't know if I'd be near you to give you guidance.
You can be.
Probably-
Everyone's
I mean,
relatively close.
So what am I just rolling a d20 or am I adding something?
Add your intelligence modifier
Oh, good.
for now.
This should go well.
I think guidance is supposed to, like, you're supposed to help someone do something. I don't think she knows anything about a gun.
Yeah,
to do
there's
it,
also
so-
that. Well, it's not like the help action. That would
Yeah.
be more like the help action. It is magically. The help is magical, so you wouldn't necessarily have to know how to help.
I think she's avoiding Seraph and Vana, to be fair.
All right. Seraph?
I would offer to help, but I'm not.
Wow.
going to.
Okay. So I'm gonna say that you're. It's not. I'm not gonna make you keep rolling until you get it. I'm just gonna say that with a 5, and given the fact that this hasn't happened very often for you, and this is one of your first times trying to de-jam it, it takes a while. You kind of have to take apart some of the main pieces, clean things, put it back together, and you feel confident eventually that it will work. It probably takes 20 or 30 minutes.
But it is working now. After those.
As far as
20
you guys know, yes. It's up to him whether he wants to fire it at anything.
Okay.
Well, I'm not gonna fire a shot, but I'll certainly see if my barrel's rotating again.
Yes.
You know.
Eventually you get it to a point where barrels are rotating. Yeah, things are clicking as they should.
Good. Very good. Then he's just
I
gonna
think-
chill out by the fire and hang out.
Okay.
I think Brightwing has done one of those, like, check the vitals sort of nurse things, and just for each one of the kids, except for Clayson, because she's doesn't know how she feels about this yet, but I think definitely probably going to Molly, then Wiggin, then Daisy, and then eventually Clayson. But we'll get to that.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead and roll a medicine check.
Oh, my dice are over there, and I'm on the floor. I'm just gonna do it in D&D. I'll get them later.
The dice sock was not available immediately.
Oh my gosh, the dice sock. Oh.
Oh, 22.
Okay. 22.
That-
Everybody seems in surprisingly and uniquely good condition. You know that, or you surmise that the transfer, the travel with these kids, that the Blightlings were trying to keep them somewhat safe or preserved. They weren't dragging them on the ground or anything. You saw they had made those stretchers. And obviously they had these circlets on. I will say, you said a 22, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a vitality to them in terms of, like, they have not eaten, to your knowledge.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, if they're dehydrated or anything like that.
Yeah, and they have not drunk, to your knowledge, necessarily. They seem like they just left the festival. Like they were enjoying themselves and having a great day at the festival, and then they just instantly woke up here. And you noticed both when they were wearing the circlets and now their cheeks are flushed. They seem healthy and natural
Interesting.
to a point that it's odd.
Yeah.
Or for the journey and the couple days that it's been.
I think even with that information, she still has to make sure that they're drinking water, because that is still off-putting that they're like. So I think
Okay.
she would still be making sure that they had some of the rations that she would have and water.
Yep, that can certainly be done and shared. Do you go through all of the kids?
Yes, she would. So I think eventually she'll timidly walk up to Clayson and kneel down in front of him.
Yasnip, I'm assuming you guys are sitting together somewhere.
Yeah, I actually would have asked him to basically, like, tell me what happened. Like, what were the order of events leading up to when he was taken.
Okay. Yeah, I will say that in the couple minutes while she's been checking the others, he would have told you that he and Daisy were playing with stick weapons, basically, that were made for them by that girl right there. And they point at Eclipse, or he points at Eclipse, and that they started hearing the screaming and the commotion and were beginning to head back towards town to find their parents when a bunch of these creatures popped out of nowhere, and it grows fuzzy there. He doesn't remember like being attacked or pain or anything like that. He just remembers fuzziness and darkness and then waking up here.
And that would be the first bout, and I think that's about as far as they would have gotten, because it would have been a lot of back and forth about trying to gather it.
Okay.
I don't mean to intrude. She'll kneel down. Do you mind if I make sure you're alright?
No. I feel great, but sure.
Alright. And she'll just do the checking blood pressure, temperature, giving him water even though it seemed like they don't need it. And definitely only having her focus on Clayson, not Yasmin.
Not very long into your administering, he looks up at Yasnip. I remember the tiefling that I pulled on, which I guess is you now. When you were in the town, she was with you. Is this your friend?
I still hope so. But with what I said before, we have a lot of explaining to do. I think she's one of the first that we have to do that with. If she's
He looks
willing to
over at
hear it.
Brightwing. Kind of looks at you with big little kid eyes.
He is my friend. I just don't know who my friend is.
He's my brother. His name is Nas.
Okay.
I'm Clayson.
Clay?
And he holds out his hand.
Clay?
But Brightwing looks at the hand because she doesn't understand handshakes as much, but she's learning, and she has like the timid, but like grabs it this way and does it this.
Okay.
Remember what we just said? It's fine this time, but don't tell people who I am. Yes.
But she's your friend.
She is. It's fine this time.
What about the rest of those ones?
Let's
He
hold
points
off
at the
for
group.
a moment for them.
Okay. Sorry.
You are energetic.
I think that's because I'm still little.
There are people who are much older than you who I know are more. So I'm Brightwing. I don't think I introduced myself to you.
That's a good name. You have bright wings.
That is what the elder thought as well.
Who's that?
Someone for my home.
Oh. Is your home far away?
It feels like it is, yes.
She could stay at our house, right?
I think you'll have to clear that with mom and dad. I don't know how they'll appreciate you having a girl over.
Oh.
Why would they not appreciate
embarrassed.
having girl over?
Yes, that as well as a number of other things we could potentially speak about. I think for tonight, it might be best to acknowledge the elephant in the side of the road and just...
Brightwing looks for an elephant.
I'm sorry, I apologize, I'm nervous. I know that it's jarring seeing me. And I can explain.
I am sure you do, but let's focus on the children for right now, alright?
Thank you. And there's this point, and even though you walked up and your focus was on Clayson at the start, Yasnip has been rather stoic for a long time, and at this point he is grinning, almost as if there has been a type of burden that has been slightly lifted. But
I think Brightwing finishes up with Clayson. If Clayson's talking to her, she's talking to him, but in terms she's not talking. She's just kind of get focus. She's thinking too, but I think you definitely feel like there's not the same synergy that there was. And when she finishes, she just nods and goes back to the other kids. Pictures, have fun with them, or I don't know.
Yeah, Wiggin is more or less having fun with himself and keeping himself entertained with his little wooden woodpecker. Molly, she seems pretty subdued and quiet, but is kind of sitting near the fire, and you notice her like tracking you as you walk around, and when you come back, kind of scoots a little bit closer to you. And then Daisy is with Daniel, and the two of them are also by the fire, talking, arm around.
I think Brightwing will use her staff and call, see if a bird will come like she did for Molly first time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. What bird sound?
What bird sound?
A goose.
oh no.
Let's go with the finch.
Okay. You all hear the sound of a finch tweeting, I suppose they would be doing, or whistling, coming from where Brightwing is, and then a couple birds flit down from a tree up on that hill where that archer was at, and alight on your staff. Kind of look down expectantly.
I'll try and persuade one on my finger.
Roll an animal handling check.
Let's go.
With advantage because of
I rolled a
the
natural
staff.
one.
Well, with advantage because of the staff, yeah.
Okay. 5. A 10.
Okay. It kind of looks down at your finger, pecks at it briefly,
Mm-hmm.
stays on the staff. Looks like it's expecting you to feed it, and that wasn't food.
I don't know if I have bird seed. Do I have bird seed?
I sure as hell don't.
Yeah.
Oh,
I will
no.
say you could have a small pouch if you want to have, considering your staff
Okay.
and your traveling companion.
All right. Then I'll give some food
Okay.
to the bird. I'll give Molly the food.
Okay. Molly takes it and kind of looks at the bird, looks at the bird's seed in her hands, looks back at it, and then holds it out. Let's see.
Oh, Molly, can I give her guidance?
Sure. Wow, that was very good. It kind of the bird flits down and very quickly grabs a couple seeds, and Molly like kind of gets startled and drops half of them, and then the bird kind of flies away. But got some food.
Think Fauna would did our heroic friends come in on horses?
Yes, there are 3 horses.
Fauna's gonna go over to the horses.
Okay.
She's gonna kind of feel him out. Who's there? What's our horse friends?
You have Mayor Maddox's horse is black with a 1 white spot like above its what eye is this? Left eye.
Okay.
And
Does he seem
one
grumpy?
no. They all seem tired. It seems like they
Tired.
sprinted here
Okay.
on sudden notice. And then the other 2 are both very run-of-the-mill brown, like the super basic horse, base level horse from the stables.
She's gonna walk over to the horses. Hi guys. You look tired. I came over to say hello. Yeah, I am tired too. I came over to say hello because I don't think anyone over there wants to talk to me right now. But I felt like maybe you guys would hang out with me.
Roll an animal handling check with advantage. I am loving that people are interacting with animals and avoiding each other right now. Amazing. Oh, wow. That's a lot better. Okay.
24.
So one sense you get from not just the appearance of the horses, but kind of some of the equipment on the black horse, Mayor Maddox's horse, is that this horse is probably his horse, and the other 2 are probably like just from the stables. They Dixie rents them out to people. You haven't met Dixie, have you? Only Eclipse has. Okay, so yeah, you don't know, but they seem like, and the vibe you get from them is they're kind of like not these people's horses, but the mayor's horse seems to be like familiar and comfortable with him, and a little bit more with this situation. And he, as you talk, he kind of steps up to you a couple steps and lowers his head down and kind of like butts his forehead very softly against your forehead.
Thank you. You are
And
a
he
very
lifts,
handsome horse.
kind of stamps his front feet a little bit, lifts his head up, kind of puts his chin on top of your head.
Oh. She's loving this. She gives him little like neck scritches.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's just hanging out with the horse.
Okay.
This is self-care.
Vana is horse
She's-
girl confirmed.
She's
Eclipse, are you doing anything of note?
I think I would have noticed the passing of hearing the weapon thing. That's like the only thing I think I would have heard out of the conversation with Clayson. Because I'm kind of, or at least notice getting pointed at.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd have the spears out just kind of like next to me on the ground that I made for them.
Okay.
But yeah, kind of sitting not next to Seraph, but near Seraph, and kind of just keeping a general eye out, but also 100% keeping to myself.
Okay. I also, by the way, completely forgot in the things you do not know summary. No one knows where in the sweet hell the weapon that Yasnip was wielding came from.
Mm-hmm.
So there's also that,
Yeah.
which I assume is not out right now, or do you have it out
Oh
with
no,
you?
it's gone.
Okay.
It is gone.
You also don't know where it is right now, but some of you certainly saw it. Okay. So everybody's more or less at this point keeping to themselves or to animals. Okay. Eventually Mayor Maddock finishes kind of piling up the bodies and comes back to the fire. I would say sits near Seraph. Doesn't say anything for a good while. Mother Mia's kind of back in the shadows, away from the group a little bit more. She's trying not to intrude too much. Probably 20, 30 minutes goes by, and then the mayor looks over at you, Seraph. You, carry one of these. And he opens his jacket slightly. You see his pepper box.
For now.
Mind me asking where you came across it? I don't see him too often.
Would you be shocked if I said I made it myself?
I would be shocked to hear just about anybody say that. But I suppose somebody does get around to making them, so tells me a little bit about you if that's true.
I guess. Yeah.
Well, at least I suppose it served you and these kids and our city well, so.
Well,
That goes for you too. And he nods over towards you, Eclipse. Just sitting relatively close. I can spot a warrior pretty quick. And well, all of you to some degree have that spirit, but certainly you two, I can see you're capable. And we're in your debt.
Just wish I was a little faster.
just wish I was a little smarter.
Yeah, I was both those things a long time ago. I wish both of those things are still true of me too, but apparently it was enough. They're all safe. I am curious, how were they this safe? They seem in perfect condition. A bit odd, considering they're captors.
Well, given the set of circumstances before us, I believe that it has something to do with the circlets that had them subdued. But we don't have enough information to go on at this time, unfortunately.
I don't recognize them either.
Yeah, they got them from somewhere. It's not something that they would understand how to use inherently. They didn't make them themselves, so either they found them and somehow learned how to use them, or they were given them for this particular purpose and explained to how they are to be used.
His brow furrows pretty heavily as you kind of lay this out. Well, that makes it a lot more concerning than if it was just some vile creatures on the loose. That sounds more like intent.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
There were definitely some dark intent things in that cave as well. Whether it was from these creatures or not, I don't know if we could put that together, but where they were going seemed pretty terrifying.
Do you know, or do you have any lead on why these kids were taken? Was it calculated?
I think the current standing theory is that they were to be brought in as sacrifices to a dark god. That is the most that we have kind of gathered, but of course, things may go a bit deeper.
Boy. These kinds of things are way above the pay grade of my town and me. And I don't like them being here. But at least we're all safe for now. I
And
think
aware. I think being aware is definitely the
agreed.
most important right now.
I wish we knew better what exactly to be aware of, given that it's maybe goes beyond these things, but at least things are under control for now. I think you all should get some rest. I can take this first watch. In fact, 3 of us can take the rest of the night's watches, probably. You've been through a lot.
If you
Yeah.
find that wise, I will attempt.
I would say at that, for the first time, and he's going to kind of sort of make space for himself, since joining this group, he will actually lay down near the fire and attempt to at least some degree to try and sleep.
Okay. You all. Does anyone want to do anything else before going to sleep?
Fauna's really hesitant. For the
Yeah,
first time, for the first time in her entire life, she is uncomfortable with sleeping outside.
Yasnip would probably grab a bedroll and set like the main blanket portion on the ground against the rock, and put the pillow like down next to him to his side, and he'd lean up against the rock to sleep and allow Clayson to lay right next to him.
Okay. The kids seem a bit restless, so they don't nod off immediately, but eventually they do. Possibly after some of you, given what you've all been through. Seraph, roll a wisdom saving throw for me.
You bitch. You know what? I got my Night Bloom D20 back. Let's see if it rolls. Well, what the fuck is my whiz save? Oh, good. This will go well. 7.
Okay. You lay down, and in whatever odd and strange way it occurs that one puts effort into sleeping, you attempt to rest. And there is way too much going on in your mind. It refuses to stop turning and churning, and from what happened to you and your sister to what has happened to you tonight to your weapon to this group to these creatures, it is an unstoppable tornado of thoughts, and your rest is no more or less restful than it has been on the previous nights where you didn't try. But eventually, dawn breaks, and you all start waking up. Fire's low. Mayor Maddock is kind of packing things up onto his horse.
Anna did not move from the horses, by the way.
Okay,
She
so you
like,
slept
with the
over there?
horses.
Okay.
Yes.
He's trying to be quiet, but not really succeeding, so you get waked up by the sound of his horse.
Whoa.
And he's
whoa.
standing there. Sorry about that.
That's okay. That's okay. I was in the bad spot. What is his name?
His name's Midnight.
Okay. She's gonna go back over. And she is muttering to herself, probably not very successfully, "All black horse, name him Midnight. It is so clever."
True.
Don't listen to what your horse wants.
Okay, the rest of you start to wake up. Well, I don't see any point in delaying. I think we start heading back. Each of us can take a kid. I don't know. You seem close with Clayson there. Maybe you can carry him, or maybe he can walk.
I'll pat him on his bald head and he can walk.
Oh yeah, I'm real strong. All right. And he goes and gets Wiggin, puts him on the front of his horse. Daniel puts Daisy on his, and Mother Mia takes Molly. Unless anyone wants to stop anyone from taking any kids and convince them to walk. But, okay. You guys start traveling south. It is the morning of Sunday. You guys, the attack was on Friday, so it's been 2 days now. And you start making your way back. Does anybody have anything they want to do on this journey south?
How far, because we came out in a waterfall, is there an associated river that runs like parallel with the roadway, or is it farther off? Has it veered off at any?
There is a river, and it does run parallel with the roadway for a good amount. It feeds into, well, technically out from actually the Dark Lock. The Black Rock River, you would know its name.
In that case, fuck that river. I'm gonna keep on walking.
Okay. Anything else from anybody else while you travel?
So insignificant, but I think Vanna is still trying to be friends with this damn horse. I think she is really, really trying to communicate with it so that she can learn what his name actually is.
Oh boy.
No. And it doesn't have to be addressed. Yes, 100% she's trying to figure out what this horse wants to be called. Because she knows that shitty ass name that the mayor gave him is not what he likes.
True.
Do I notice this? I'm assuming I do.
Well, Vana, how is this happening? Are you actively talking to it while you walk next to it? I assume.
Yeah, for sure. She's talking to
Okay.
it. And she's like, okay, you can tell me it's okay. He'll never know.
I'm right here.
Nobody's gonna know.
Shh,
They're gonna know.
shh.
Nobody-
How would they
She
know?
puts up her hand, and she's kind of short, and horses are big, and she's like, shh. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to this handsome stallion right here. Not to
Kind of
you.
does that horse thing where
Yes.
I will walk on the other side, not where Vana is, but the other side. And I will ritually cast Speak with Animals.
oh shoot. Oh boy. Okay, does that work on you, or can you cast it for someone else to hear
I
animals?
don't know. I've never done it before.
We shall find out.
You gain the
with-
ability to
Okay.
comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts of the for the duration.
Okay.
So I can speak to any animal, not just this one animal.
That is true, yes.
Wow. 10 minutes. I can talk to.
Okay. What do you say?
I think she talks in her native language to it, because that's how she's communicated with animals before.
Okay. So the rest of you hear Brightwing. You've heard a couple words from her language, so when she starts speaking in it fully, you get the sense that that's what it is, but none of you understand any bit of it.
Wouldn't Vana understand a little bit of it?
Well, are you speaking like the language of the Quea?
Kuea? Yeah.
No, then she would not.
Okay.
She understands another language you speak, but none of them
Oh, okay,
understand this
cool.
language.
Cool. Then, I think I'll just say, hello, friend.
Hello.
I
Not
believe,
too often I get to talk to somebody.
I'm sorry. I communicate many ways.
Well, no need to apologize. We talk to each other. He kind of nods his head at the horses, but it's just, your people we don't get to talk to too much.
Do you know my people?
Oh, I just mean two-legged people.
Oh, 2 people. Alright. Well then, my friend is wondering if you do have a name that is not this guy.
And he would know that I've been asking him that because he can understand
Yes.
me.
Yes, he would. Right. I've heard. It's been pretty constant. Certainly not in the way that you all have names. We recognize each other through other ways, smells and
Right, yes.
feel.
I do not know many animals with names, to be honest.
I think it's a two-legged construct as far as I know.
Well,
But
I have 2 of them, so
he calls me Midnight, so I suppose that's my name.
you are recognized by your scent, right?
Among other things, yeah.
Yeah. Well, just with that confirmation for a friend.
Certainly if you have other suggestions, I'm open to them, but
2
I don't
names?
suppose anyone's calling me anything besides him, so
I mean, is it named just for you to know someone is speaking to you, yes?
I suppose so. Like I said, I think it's a two-legged construct.
And I should also thank you. You came running when we needed most.
Yeah, I haven't run that fast in a while. It was pretty nice, actually, to stretch my legs.
Very impressive. Do we have horses in the Koea? I don't know.
I would say yes. I think that it's not common that all of the people would have horses they ride around, but certainly the scout and exploring people would
Okay.
more often use a horse, and you probably use like horses of like more pack
Burden.
horse,
Yeah.
burden
Okay.
horses to move things and carry carts and stuff like that.
I'll say hello to the other horses before these field drops.
Okay.
I think.
Ah,
Hawati.
what's that mean?
Hello.
Oh, hello to you too. Or Hawaii? What was that?
That is very close.
I think Ivana would see that Brightwing is somehow speaking to him,
Yes.
and then she would get in her head and be like, "Oh my god, I am so stupid. I could just turn into a horse." And
Please.
and she will expend one of her wild shapes and turn
Huh.
into a horse.
Huh. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, interesting. What DM rulings I am being called upon to make in this session?
Yeah, eat shit.
Was that me who spoke to horses in your campaign, or was it someone else?
Yeah, it
for
was you.
sure
It was you.
Okay.
This
I accept
is
then. I
pure
accept
karma.
this,
I
yes.
love it.
Here's what I will say. In wild shaped forms, you retain the mental stats and therefore I would say capacity and identity more or less of Vana. So I don't think you gain the ability to speak horse by turning into a horse. However,
You.
yes. However, I will say that you gain the senses of the creature. Like if they have dark vision, you don't. You do have dark vision. So I will say that you gain a. You know that it's through scent, but it seems like an extra sense, like a sixth sense of identifying or identity that you gain from these other horses when you become a horse. And so it's almost like a name. You conjecture there's like an identity to the specific scent of each of these horses that you can recognize as a horse that you couldn't as a water genasi. And you still don't understand it, but you do feel a connection and a kinship to who this horse and these other two horses are through this like scent identity. You can determine for yourself if you want to put a name to that in common, but that is what you feel, I will say.
Eat.
What does your horse look like?
What does my horse look like?
Yeah, what does your horse look like?
Well, I think Vana as a horse looks a little different than the other animals that she's been. Because a lot of them mimic that kind of greenish hue of her hair. I think this one is a lot more earthy. It still has kind of like a tinge, but it's a lot more like muddy. And I think she's got one of those lovely white patches, like the diamond ones.
Oh, yeah.
But I think she's a horse, and I think her eyes are green.
Okay. I will also say when you turn into a horse, all of a sudden, the two brown horses kind of get a bit startled and like sideways trot away from you a little bit. Midnight or whatever the smell would tell you he is does not seem to be phased at all, whether because he felt like he knew you or whether because he's just a braver, more stalwart horse. He does not seem to react. The kids all gasp, and Clayson, who I'm assuming is walking next to you, Yasnit?
Yeah, and we'd probably be towards the back.
Okay. He kind of tugs on your hand. Yasnip. She kind of does the same thing as you, but different because she's an animal. That's pretty cool.
Should see
Do
the other
I-
things she can do.
Do I speak? Do I still have my?
Common? You cannot speak common as a horse. No.
Okay, cool. That's what I thought.
You go,
Could I speak something else?
You
Could I-
can't speak a language, a humanoid language that requires the mouth and tongue that you have. I will say you could probably over time, you don't have it yet, but you could probably learn some of like the motions and neighs and head tosses and various bits of communication that the horses have, not as a language per se, but to communicate like emotions or whatever it is that they're able to communicate.
Can I speak with Vana?
Oh my gosh. No, because oh my gosh. Yes. Yes, I would say yes. This is so
This is
weird.
good. This is good.
Well, hold on. Let me look at speak with animals real quick.
It says
You gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration. The knowledge and awareness of many beasts is limited by their intelligence, but at minimum, beasts can give you information about nearby locations, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Vana, what does beast shape say specifically?
Hold on.
Wild shape.
Yes, wild shape. It's class feature that is gained. It's like blah 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 blah. Shape and change into a beast they've seen before.
beast.
You assume the shape of a beast.
That they've seen before. It's
Okay, game statistics placed by the beast. Retain your alignment, personality, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma scores.
This is the big lore angst that you all wanted.
Yep. You get the beast hit points and hit dice. Can't cast spells, and your ability to speak or take any action that requires hands is limited to the capabilities of your beast form.
yes.
Fascinating.
Which is enabled by Speak with Animals to allow horse.
Fascinating.
That would be the
with
question of
Brightwing.
does assuming the shape of a beast make you a
Yeah,
beast?
make you a beast. I'm going to say
Oh,
no. I would say if it was polymorph, this is going to be a weird call, and we'll see if it changes in the future. But I would say that if you were to be polymorphed, Speak with Animals would actually work. But the unique nature of Wild Shape, allowing her to maintain her own mental capacity, makes it so that she's not a beast in the way where the odd magical connection that you have to allow this speech works. So, in a weird, convoluted way, no, you can't speak to Vana as a horse.
okay.
That's funny as hell. Okay.
That's
I think
I kind of wish
she-
that I wasn't ruling it that way, but I feel like that's the right way to do it, so that's the way I am.
I think Vana will walk next to. I still don't know what his name is.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she'll walk next to him, and I think she'll kind of like kind of like bump her head into him a little bit
Okay.
and trying to be like, huh? Look what I can do.
Okay.
oh no.
You're trying
Like, we're
to
bros.
show off your horsiness?
I'm just
We're
horsing
horse
around.
bros, dude.
Would you say that you're horsing around?
Yes, I in fact did just say that.
That's
Okay.
a knee slapper right here.
Oh yes, I think
Okay.
she's trying to have a good time.
Wow. So interesting. I'm going to say roll a charisma check.
Oh.
For a horse.
A horse charisma check.
Oh wait, I have advantages. I have advantage when I roll charisma checks against animals. You gave me that.
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Charisma. Oh, where is it?
There it is.
Oh, my charisma's not that bad.
Charisma. Charisma. Not great.
7.
Better. 12.
Okay. Midnight, or whatever his name is, kind of the sense you get, and maybe even like a side comment to Brightwing, is that he's slightly amused, and kind of like clomps along with you, sort of to entertain your desire to be a horse and be friendly more than anything.
Okay.
But seems friendly about it at the very least.
Okay. She is pleased and will not bother him anymore.
You stay as a horse?
Yeah!
Okay. Going back to the back of the group, Clayson, seeing that this remains for a while, tugs on your hand again. Yasnit. God, do you think I could ride her?
You could certainly try.
All the other kids are riding on a horse, so I want to do it too.
I'll gesture him forward.
Okay, he runs up kind of alongside you, Vaughn, a horse. And only when he gets there and looks up does he realize that he has no way he can get on this horse. And he's like kind of putting his, and then he looks back at Yasnip.
I think
Arms up.
she stoops her head down. And she gets her little nose real close up to him. And she kind of like...
He giggles and like brushes his nose.
And she kind of like gestures, like her head, like.
Are you kneeling down far enough that he could jump up?
He's a short dude.
I think
Yeah,
she'd
he's really
try.
short. Okay, I will say Yasnip is not running to lift him up, so he's gonna try.
Oh no!
Oh boy. Nope, we're rolling this one.
Them little Verdun legs.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
she's a mare anyway, so she's not as big as the other.
He's
ones.
quite short, so he
Yeah.
kind of leaps up and gets his hands just over your spine,
Okay.
and is hanging there.
Okay.
And he tries to pull himself up, does not have the upper body strength for that.
That's
So he's
too
literally just
real.
hanging. Help, please!
I think Brightwing's gonna run over.
Okay. All right. Brightwing comes over, pushes him up on top, and he. You know what? Okay. He kind of wobbles a little bit, and there's no saddle, and then he kind of grips onto your mane.
That's fine.
Ooh. Ooh.
And she's gonna
It's
walk
cool.
nice and steady.
Okay.
I'll do the lead when you're like at a horse place and they're like someone leading you. I'll do that.
Okay. With no rope.
With no
Or
rope.
lead.
But like if he's like leaning.
You've been staying close in case. Yes. Okay. He
Nice
does
and
not
steady.
seem super stable, but he seems to have gotten himself to a place where he's holding on. And he, at one point, kind of like looks over at Daisy. Look, I'm on a horse, and waves his hand. And doing that, loses his grip, and he kind of slips a little bit. Grabs on. You hold him up, and he Okay, I gotta hold on with two hands now.
Yeah, I would recommend.
Okay. And that lasts for how long, Vana?
An hour. But I think she'd know. And I think she would stop. and like hit Brightwing with her head before she turned back into her.
Brightwing, roll an insight check.
Oh God. Okay. A 9?
Maybe she wants an apple. You're really not too sure. And then all of a sudden, woof,
Whoop.
the
Oh,
horse
God.
Vana reduces to a normal Vana, and Clazen, it kind of is grabbing on your hair, more or less. Ah! Right. Both of you tumble to the ground. No one is hurt. It is a very amusing spectacle to everybody else.
Was that so exciting or what?
That was crazy.
Wasn't it
Can we
crazy?
do it again?
No. Later, but right now, no.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I only have limited amounts of times I can turn it into horses.
How many times? Like 3?
Two.
2? Okay.
And that was 1.
Okay. All right. He trots back to Yaz.
And I think Vana would be like, to the horse again. Last thing she'll say to him, she'll be like, "You are much more handsome as a horse. Whole new level. Different dimension. Of just whole new sense. It was really cool. You are
He
a
kind
cool
of-
guy.
He kind of gives like an acknowledging nod.
Okay, I will leave you alone now. Thank you for indulging me. Bye."
All right. Whew. Such horse antics.
We're horsing around!
All right. You guys continue on. Probably stop to eat around lunchtime, take a small break, and then keep going. And towards not quite sunset, but nearing sunset of that day, you see the buildings of Proward up ahead of you. We're gonna go right ahead. Let everyone know. And he gets Midnight into a trot. He's not galloping with Wigan on the horse with him, although he's got him very securely. But he trots on ahead to let everybody know.
So the other 2 horses were with us, or did the other 2 go?
Yeah. No, other 2 horses stayed with you.
Okay.
And Yasnip, you are a tiefling, correct?
Yes, I
Okay.
am.
All right. Are you holding Clayson or holding his hand?
If it's towards the end of the day and he's getting tired, I'll pick him up. But
Okay.
if he's still good to walk, then we'll just be walking.
He seems like he's trying really hard to be good to walk, but is getting a little bit tired and worn out.
I'll pick him up.
Okay.
Throw him on the
All right.
shoulders, let him hold the horns.
Okay. You guys eventually make your way back into the streets of Proward. And you continue forward towards the main square. And you see people beginning to either poke their heads out of windows, or as you pass by, they'll open their doors. And there's various sounds of either quick gasps or like small cheers. They seem relieved and excited, and a small group kind of forms a bit, walking with you guys to the square.
As we begin to enter, I want to try to slip something into Clayson's pocket.
Okay, roll a sleight of hand check.
That is a 15.
Lol. Okay. All right. What is it? Or are you going to tell me later?
I'll tell you later.
Okay. You successfully get in there. He does not seem to notice. When you get close enough that you hear a good amount of bustling, he kind of looks up at you, or I guess
Down.
at you since you're carrying him. Can I tell mom and dad?
Yes, but wait till you get home. I might come with you.
Okay. Okay. Eventually, you guys come out of an alley and are in the square. You reach the square, and you see dismounted Mayor Maddock, and around him all the families of the kids. And in various quick and rapid motions, you are all swarmed by the families. All the hopacrosses gather around. Whoever is not immediately hugging Daisy is hugging Daniel and grateful that he's returned safe. You see Wigan Perinacle III over with his son, a grandson near Mayor Maddock, and the Molly's parents come up, hold her close. They all take a moment to thank each of you, basically in turn, and the Verdon family as well.
I
All
would
three.
say, actually, man,
Mm-hmm.
Brightwing would have let the reunion happen and all that happen, but she would have been slowly trying to, like, go away.
Okay. Like away from the square?
Yeah. Without
Okay.
trying to, like, be like, okay, everything's okay now. Everyone's there, but she is trying to not be noticed.
Okay. I will say roll stealth check.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're trying to do this without really being noticed.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, roll stealth check.
20.
Okay. Everyone is very focused either on the kids or on the families or on the reunion, and none of this party certainly notice you slip away. Does anyone have anything specific they want to do or say with any of the family members?
I am just going to set Clayson down as we get further in and allow him to run through the family.
Okay. Would you do that before or after you kind of break into the square? And
It would probably be after we kind of break into the square.
okay. I will say then that after he runs to them, jumps in their arms, both the parents hug and kiss him. The older Verdon woman does the same, and they all kind of look towards you and give just a nod of acknowledgement, seeing that you carried him in.
There's a nod back.
Okay. And eventually, after reunions with kids, they do, each of them, both the Verdon family and the others, certainly the Hopacrosses, who know everyone to some degree, come up to each of you, shake your hands, give you hugs, are very grateful.
And I am also going to try to slip away.
Okay. Roll a stealth check.
I'm actually going to slide into a nearby alley and cast invisibility.
Okay. I'll still say roll a stealth check to get away from the main square and group.
It's a natural 1 or a 4.
Okay. I will say that Brightwing is already gone. The rest of you can choose whether or not you would clock this. There's still a lot going on here, so you may not be paying any attention, but if you want to notice it, I would say all of you would notice Yosnip slip into an alley, and once he's out of sight, you don't see him disappear all of a sudden. He would get well out of sight, but you just see him walk away down an alley. And then you cast invisibility. Okay. All right.
I didn't see
You're
shit.
invisible.
Did you guys see shit? I didn't see shit.
I acknowledge seeing shit, but I will not do anything about it.
Okay.
That thing. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
I think for Daniel, that was the oldest Hoppercross that came
Mhm.
to help us. I'm gonna give the little like janky spear for Daisy to him
Okay.
and just pat him on the shoulder and just be, you did really well.
Thanks. I was pretty scared, to be honest.
That never goes away. But you
He
showed
kinda-
up, and that's what's important.
He nods and kind of clutches the toy spear more or less close to himself. He also still has an axe hanging off his belt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she just goes, well, that's for Daisy, if you want to show her some points as well. But if you want.
I can certainly I can try, but I feel like maybe you might be better suited to do that
We'll see.
if you stay.
Maybe before I leave.
Okay. Eventually, the mayor makes his way up to you guys after kind of the reunions have died down. Needless to say, whatever comforts we can provide to you guys is on the city. We also have this, and he pulls out a pouch. Oh, did you guys want to loot the orcs, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
Hold on then.
100%. Take their
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Bitches.
Absolutely.
I'm adding those arrows to the quiver I got that was shot in me.
Do
So
it.
whoever wants to, who would have been probably most responsible for this? Or would you split it up?
I would say Eclipse because
Yeah,
you're the one
'cause-
taking the
Yeah.
bodies, right?
Yeah, I would have probably
Okay.
been helping a lot with that. So I
Yeah,
don't,
and
like,
everyone else actually made a note of saying they were like sitting apart or
Yeah.
Yeah.
relatively So I will say you have all of this. So you
Okay.
gathered from the orcs
Uh.
32 gold,
Nice.
27 silver,
okay.
and 15 copper.
Yeah, let me put that as it. So it was 32 and then 27
And 15.
and 15. Okay.
And then the mayor hands you a pouch.
Okay.
We gathered what we could the day you guys left. I hope it covers the difficulty of your journey, and he kind of looks quickly and then back at you, but he looks at Seraph and your sacrifices. Do you plan to stay here? We could certainly put you up in an inn.
I think I will at the very least just to make sure that they don't come back.
All right. Well, if you want to let your group know, we'll put up all of you in rooms in one of our inns.
I appreciate it.
And he goes off to you assume find the owner of one of the inns to set that up. What are the rest of you who remain in the square wanting to do?
When. All right, which one? Which sibling
You go,
goes
you
first?
go, you go, because
Okay.
I'm gonna do bullshit.
All right, tight, great.
She's gonna go hang out with the horses.
No!
When the mayor's kind of going around, I'll see if I can kind of come aside real quick. I am running dangerously low on ammo. So if you happen to have any spare lying around, I could deeply use the restock.
I do actually. I'm sure I could give you some. We don't get access to it too often, and given the situation, I don't want to give it all away in case we need to protect again. But
Of course.
I absolutely could give you some. We owe you just about everything. So yeah, I'll I'll gather it and get it to you guys before you leave. Do you plan on staying? I know Clips mentioned she would be here a bit.
That's a complicated question to answer.
I
I'm not
understand.
entirely certain what the future holds for us yet. Certainly, I'll have to speak with my sister.
Of course. And you don't answer to me or any of us, so if you're gone one day, we'd understand. But I'll get you what I can, and certainly this town is in your debt, so anything you need, feel free to ask, and we'll do what we can.
We, of course, deeply appreciate your support. And he will sort of walk off and not necessarily mingle in the crowd, but he'll find a place to kind of prop up an elbow and just people watch for a while, I think.
Okay. There's either the fountain in the middle or any various cart on the side. It does look like the town and the town square in particular, where a lot of this happened, they've started to clean it up a bit. There's no more bodies in the street, which there were when you guys left. And it looks like they've sort of began the process of setting the festival back up, but the sense you get given the time and where they're at is that it's been somewhat half-hearted, and obviously their minds have been a little bit distracted, but it does look like they're intending to try to get back to normal. So there are various carts around, and you can find a place to kind of prop up.
Sure thing.
Vana?
Before that, Seraph, do you go to the fountain to prop up?
No, he's
Okay.
definitely trying to kind of split off from most of the crowd at this point, so he's probably going off to a cart, like, decently far away.
Then never mind.
Now, is that lovely furbolg that I met who sold me strawberries at the strawberry booth happened to be in Town Square?
God.
Clement?
Yeah.
Roll a perception check.
$17. 18. Math.
18.
Math.
You don't see him. How long do you want to look for him?
This is her quest.
Okay. All right. You do not see him immediately glancing around the square, but you kind of do a bit of a walkabout, and eventually you see in one corner of the square, kind of observing the goings about, because most of the town is. You see a female Firbolg who looks noticeably similar. She's kind of tall and gangly, middle-aged to kind of maybe 60s, in like a very spring-colored dress. And there aren't a ton of Firbolgs here, so she stands out, but also as you get closer, you kind of see a bit of a resemblance.
Hi, excuse me.
Ah, yeah, hello there.
Do you know Clement?
Yes, I did. He was my brother. Why do you ask?
And she goes into her bag and she pulls out the empty strawberry cartons. He was so nice, and I wanted to give his baskets back, but I didn't get the chance before. I'm so sorry.
She kind of takes the baskets. Those were one of our best crops, so I'm glad you had a chance to enjoy them.
They were the most beautiful things I had ever seen.
Did you know him well?
No, I just met him here, but I'm with my brother too, and we have had our fair share of.
Do you want
I'm
to
so sorry.
So am I. Do you want to visit?
Sure.
Does your brother want to come? You see him way on the other side of the square.
Don't know. I think I will tell him, just so that he does not freak out. But,
Okay. She kind of
And-
leads you away.
And what is your name?
My name is Hannah.
Anna. I am Vanna.
It's very nice to meet you. I'm very thankful for what you and your friends did. And there's a bit of a walk and talk now. You guys walk for a few minutes. Towards the outskirts of town, you come upon a cemetery that looks like it's old. It's been here in the city for a long time, and some of the tombstones and markers towards the back seem very, very old. And up towards the front, you see 8 that look brand new. And one of them says Clement Hawthorne.
Vanna is going to use charges on her staff and make some flowers. They're white flowers, right? But not all of them are strawberry flowers, the little teeny tiny white flowers, but they're in there. And I think there's daisies and lilies of the valley. I think that's what's that crew that she comes up with. She puts them down.
Okay.
I think
yeah.
Seraph probably would have followed distantly behind.
You came
Okay.
with
Just
Out of sight or caught up?
not necessarily caught up. I mean, he would be keeping his distance.
Okay.
But he will kind of stand here amongst the cemetery watching and just sort of rub his shoulders a bit
Okay.
and just wait.
Once you finish placing the flowers down, Vanna, you turn back to Hannah and you just see like a tear from each eye. She kind of sniffs. That's beautiful. Thank you.
It's nothing I wouldn't do you for, you know.
I understand. Do you want to stay with me tonight? We can make dinner.
Oh God, I would not want to intrude, but if you want company, I will gladly spend my evening with you.
Well, it was just me and Clement, so I certainly wouldn't mind it.
I would love to come stay with you. I will help you make dinner.
Okay. You guys turn. Seraph, are you staying out of sight or would you be visible?
He's kind of off to the side. I think he's not necessarily paying attention to them. He's kind of keeping to himself, kind of
Okay.
looking vacant for the most part, kind of in thought, I think, more than anything.
Okay. Vaughn, I would say you would notice him kind of standing to the side within sight.
That is my brother. He is a bit...
You see a gangly furbolg woman wave at you. Would you like to join us?
Come on.
Well, I have to make sure my sister doesn't do anything crazy, so.
There's no better strawberry shortcake in this town. I can tell you that.
Well, that does sound appealing. Let's give it a whirl.
All right. The three of you head off to the Hawthorne house.
Yes.
Brightwing, what are you doing?
I think. Well, you tell me, what does the outside of town look like? I know there's a lake on one side. Is there a forest nearby on the other side, or is it just fields that's
No,
around?
there's fields. There's
Okay.
fields actually south of the town is also fields. The lake is a little bit beyond them, so it's basically all surrounded by fields that go out a long ways, and there are a number of like small estates that stack outwards from the town, and each house has their own fields for
Okay.
various crops.
I think probably. I think she just walks around the fields, both out of curiosity and both out of needed just to reflect what's happened. And I think at one
Okay.
point she gets to a point in her where she gets back to that moment where she gets to Seraph. She touches Seraph. She knows the spell connected. And she realizes that in that moment she should have realized that didn't work. But instead she ran away. And because of that decision he died. And she puts that failure on like an armor. Something that she's never really done before, and something she's always heard about herself, and now she sees that it's true. That even though, how could she have known anything about that with Seraph? She still realizes that she should have recognized that it did not work, and that her own arrogance of her own magic, that it failed. And I think at that she just kind of sits outside of the field and tries to meditate and just see what she's supposed to do next, because she doesn't know.
Okay. As you're walking through the fields, at various points you come across trails of blight. Some of them seem to circle around, some of them seem to cut through various portions of fields, all generally heading inwards towards the town from where you are. Do you want to kind of stop in a place that's further away from those or nearer to them?
Probably near one.
Okay. Roll a wisdom check.
$12.
Okay. You don't feel the strength and darkness of that blight the way that you had felt it previously when you were in close proximity. That kind of antithesis to life that you had either witnessed or felt. It seems faded, but there is also a feeling of emptiness and, for lack of a better word, infertility. you don't sense the like thirst for life that nature usually has from those areas. And you kind of sit here for a while, meditate, think, and eventually you hear some rustling from nearby. And walking along one of these paths of blight, you see Mother Mia. And she's kind of looking down at it and following it, it seems like, and like every once in a while picking up a bit of dirt, sniffing it. And then she notices you. Oh, sorry to disturb you.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find out how to counteract this, whatever it is. It
seems nature does not want to grow here, even after.
You are perceptive. We've tried. I've tried in the last day. Things don't take the way they should. And I can sense it as well, probably the way you can. I'm trying to find a solution. I think I have some ideas, but I'm not sure yet.
I do not know. I am not very smart in that regard.
Well, sometimes it's not about brains, it's more about heart. And you seem to have plenty of that. Yeah. Do you want to maybe help me out?
I don't know what use I could be.
Well, you're a healer, right?
Not a very good one.
Well, I wasn't the best back when I was as young as you either, but we learn and we grow. Perhaps you could accompany me.
If you don't mind my company.
Oh, certainly not. If you notice anything, let me know. I could use a second set of eyes. Mine are not the best anymore.
I have some would say a bird of eye.
All right. Well. And she kind of starts to explain what she's looking for, what she's found,
Okay.
the ideas she has. I am going to say I will roll a check for her, but with advantage because of your help.
Okay. Man, I wish I would have third level spells. I have a spell that would be perfect for this, but we're not. God.
Level 3. Level 3.
Level 3. Wow. I don't know if I... Okay. All right. You spend probably until the sun is setting and darkness is starting to come, walking around with her, inspecting. And you do have a good amount of knowledge of nature and medicinal things. So you, and how much you endeavor into this or open up with it is totally up to you, but you begin to have some input that is helpful, and you kind of converse a little bit, and seems to be you're maybe making headway towards a solution before night comes.
I think she like takes out her herbalist kit and collects samples and like that she would normally do with like a normal herb to understand properties of it, but does it with this and different light things.
Are you going to be staying in an inn with your group?
I was staying with my friend, but I I am unsure where I can stay anymore, and I don't if I should stay.
Well, at the very least, you could spend tonight in my place. We could run some tests.
All right, if it's no trouble,
Of course not.
I'm used to sleeping outside in the first place. It's fine.
Well, there is an open balcony if you wish.
Is there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My home sort of doubles as a small shrine to Syriana, so it's a nice little comfort.
Who is Syriana?
Oh, the verdant mistress, Syriana. She's, well, the god of nature and life. I would have thought you might know her well, given your abilities.
I know no Syriana. I know the ways of wilds. The ways of the wilds.
The ways of the wilds.
Yes.
Well, perhaps we can trade stories of the powers that we serve.
There are many stories brought down for my people for it.
Lovely. You guys amble your way back into town and to her place. Yasnip.
Can we do Yas? I need Yas.
Yas. What are you doing?
Well, I am casting invisibility, and I am going to first gather a few things of mine.
Okay.
And then I am going to head to a specific point in the southern fields.
Okay.
Looking for a symbol.
Okay. Roll a survival check.
17.
Okay. You find an area of field that very much matches what you're looking for. And it's pretty close to the lake, the Dark Lock. And you spend several minutes walking through it, searching. No symbols, several trails of blight, but no symbols, no sign of burning. Just a field with blighted paths through it.
I would return into town back to have the name, the Tilled Moon Tavern and Inn. As I get into town, I would drop invisibility. Is there still a lot of people around, or have people dispersed?
Well, it's been less than an hour since you were invisible the whole time. So, there's still some people around. You see both Wiggins on the porch of the farmed bottle, which is on the square. And, the mayor, who's talking with various towns members near the steps.
Any of the party still?
Eclipse, you would have stayed there?
I had a thing I wanted to do, but yeah, I would be there.
Okay.
After, yeah.
You see Eclipse, but no one else.
If I saw her and she noticed me, I would kind of give a small head nod, and I would walk into the inn.
Okay, let's quickly jump to Eclipse. What did you want to do?
Okay, so before that, I was gonna go check on Crater.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You make your way to the stables. Yes. And when you get there, you recognize two of the horses. The two horses that had carried Mother Mia and Daniel are there. And Dixie comes out.
Is Crater making friends?
Are you leaving?
No, I just wanted to check on Crater, see how he's doing.
Doing absolutely wonderful.
Is he sleeping?
Yeah, she points you over to where he is. He's not sleeping. He's munching on some oats. When you come over, he kind of very excitedly stamps
Yay!
a bit.
Is it okay if I just chat with him for a little bit?
Absolutely, of course. And however much longer you need to stay, don't worry about paying for keeping him here. I've known what you've done for the town, so it's on me.
Thank you. I don't know how long we'll be here, but that helps a lot. Thank you very much. So yeah, I'm gonna head on over, and as he's doing his whole tippy tap excited nonsense, I'm gonna just pet him and hang out with him and just be like, "Hey, buddy, it's been a rough couple days."
He
and
gives
just kind of yeah,
a bunch
just
of like nose taps.
Yeah, and just kind of like calm him down, just rest my head on his, and just kind of sit there and just be like, "Man, it is so much harder protecting other people than you, man." Take you for granted. And she just kind of takes a moment and like finally lets out a little bit more like tears.
Okay.
And just kind of relaxes for the first time.
He also calms a bit, and you don't really know if it's in response to your emotion, but kind of comes to a bit more peace and just rests his chin on your shoulder.
Well, I hope you're making friends. Hope you're not causing too much trouble. And I don't even think I'd have anything on me for him. I'll just give him some pets. Just hang out with him for a little bit before I head back.
Okay.
Yeah.
You make your way back eventually and see Yasnip, who gives you a nod and heads toward the Tilled Moon.
I will go in with him.
Okay.
Okay, this is awkward now.
And I grab a corner table.
I would say by the time that she gets in, I would have gone upstairs and knocked on Brightwing's door.
Oh no.
Okay. You get no response after several minutes. Well, a few minutes.
He probably wouldn't have stayed there for very long, knocking and then kind of accepting the fact that she's not there. He'd briefly stop into his room and pull out his map that he's been drawing, and very haphazardly draw a line for the river and where the mouth of the entrance was, and he'd put a little X by it.
Okay.
And then he would try to go downstairs and leave.
Okay. From your corner table eclipse, you see Yasnib after several minutes come back down and start walking out. Do you want to do anything? I'll take that as a no.
I'll follow him, and it's not subtle.
Okay. All right. Yasnib, she gets up from her table and follows you. Catches up with you outside the door.
even if it's not subtle, I'm going to roll to see if he cares.
Yeah. I love doing that, and then you have to decide what number means what.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing it. Shit.
He's going to walk home.
Okay. And we will take a break there. For 6 minutes and 51 seconds. A decently long break.
I'm
Some
gonna guess that's
decompression might be
somewhere in
needed.
Pennsylvania.
That is going to be St. Paul, Minnesota.
Oh, St. Paul!
Oh, hi, I was just there a little bit
Glorious.
ago.
Minnesota.
We can get some syrup.
Oh, don't you know?
Oh, what is? Why is
Don't
St. Paul
you know.
Irish? What?
I don't know.
Whatever.
It's
It might
Okay.
as well.
It's close.
6 minutes and 51 seconds from now, we will reconvene to see where things are going.
Is that enough time to make it a quesadilla? I don't know.
How precious!
Definitely.
Run! Get up! Go!
Alrighty. So, we pick up with Yasnip heading home and allowing Eclipse to follow, correct?
Yeah, about that. He'll get about halfway there.
Okay.
And he'll stop and he'll turn towards her. I guess, what are you doing for the evening?
Probably eat something. Probably. But if you have something to do, I am more than happy to go back and do it alone.
Do I know a restaurant or a place to eat that isn't the inn we just came from?
Yes. There's also the Golden Rise Inn.
Oh no, competing inns.
Yes, there are 2 popular inns, and there's also the Wayward Scarecrow Pub, which, so it depends on what vibe you're going for, which of those would make more sense.
Well,
Which place is gonna get a business boom, technically?
I think what I was going to do can wait for the morning. What do you like to eat?
You know, something simple sounds really nice.
Do you like mushrooms?
Yes.
I'm going somewhere with Proud Pie.
Let's
Okay.
go!
Do you want to avoid the inn you were just
Yes, I want to avoid the inn I was
Okay.
just at, because that looks weird.
at? Okay, so with this particular duo, I feel like you may want to go to the Wayward Scarecrow, which is more of like an rundown, older sort of pubish place
Let's fucking go.
where it's a lot of like gruff farmers that don't really bother each other, as opposed to the Golden Rise Inn, which is a much more like a upscale-y inn sort of place.
I'll shift and lead us there. And I know a place. It's a vegetarian dish, but it's very good around here.
Okay. You guys head to the Wayward Scarecrow. And do you want to have any conversations there? Or are you just going to eat and enjoy?
I have one. If she doesn't.
All right. So when you get there, the proprietor is a human man, very tall and lanky, dark reddish brown auburn hair that's in a ponytail, and a several inch long goatee that comes down from his chin. Lots of freckles, very red nose. Oh yeah, you're looking for food?
Yes, Proud Pie. If we could sit down and have some of those, maybe some drinks.
Certainly. You want ale?
I'm fine with ale, yes.
All right. Yes. 2 ales and 2 Proud Pies.
Perfect.
For any table. Right. And he heads off.
Any preference of table?
Wherever is the least populated, like a corner. Corners are nice.
There's somebody in every corner. It
God,
seems like that's the,
damn it!
Everybody
Let
takes
me have my
corners
witcher
first,
moment.
and then so there's still like some side booths, but
fine, one of those. That'll work.
Okay.
Damn it!
Just looking around, you do get the sense this is like the older farmers, like the guys who play dice with each other, not the upscale crew of the town.
Cool.
Would sit down. You know, I was wondering. I have used daggers and smaller items for the longest time, and with your spear, would you be able to offer some pointers? Tactics?
Well, I was tutoring some kids, and they seemed to pick it up pretty well. So, not to brag, but I think I could attempt to.
Eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll a history check for me.
How many times have I not taught people how to do this?
Yeah.
You suck. Okay. 11.
Okay.
Thanks, Grog.
Did I when on the first night that it appeared, did I have you roll to recognize that blade?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay. So, amongst this proposition, obviously your mind immediately goes to the blade that you did see Yasnet briefly wielding. And you have seen quite a few different blades in your time and weapons of various kinds. You have not seen this in person.
Mhm.
You have heard of elves that like to wield large two-bladed weapons. But you don't know specifically where or if they're the only ones who would use something like this or if this particularly came from there.
Mm.
But it is a very unique weapon to you, which makes it very unique in general to the world.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully I have a little bit more aptitude than the children. But I wouldn't put it past them.
I mean, one of them was Clayson, so. But it is a very unique weapon, from what I have noticed. So, what I give you is probably primitive in comparison to what actual users of it could give you if we ever find someone. But I could at the very least teach you a little bit more about the balance of it.
And even if it was tactics or motions in combat, I know you have a shield. I try to get a little bit more slippery, I suppose. But I don't know if you're looking to stick around or what your obligations are, but if we're maybe possibly going to work together?
Yeah, I did notice that with the group. It is a little hard to adjust.
It's a bit hard fending off of somebody that typically uses a pistol.
Very true. Very true. Yes, typically I work in defense. I am very typically fast and capable of getting in the way of danger before someone has a chance to be hit. Unfortunately, our group is very spread out, which is also good because then it means less chances of things going wrong.
Well, I know that for myself, I am able to be a little bit more potent when others are near. So perhaps if it came down to it, you and I would be able to work more closely and benefit each other.
Yes, I think figuring out a coordination would be ideal. We'll see how everyone else thinks of the plan, though. It looks like Vana also likes to get up into trouble a lot more than I anticipated.
I feel the trouble tends to get to her quite quick.
That is also frustratingly true. I'll have to keep a better eye on that.
I don't really know what the current state is, and obviously a lot of us have just met. I'm interested in seeing where things go. And I don't know where everybody has gone, but if they're here tomorrow, maybe we could have further conversation about what everybody would like to do. Why are you here? What brought you to Proward?
Specifically, I was sent to investigate the blights and figure out exactly what they were. We didn't have much information on them. So I was sent by my family to investigate it, since I was the most capable of being on my own. Thankfully, I did not have to do this on my own because that would have been a nightmare.
Yeah.
So.
I think in a capacity it was a nightmare in and of itself.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah.
But thankfully they know what it is, or they are aware of the details that we got, so I don't think they would mind if I took a little bit longer getting home. But I will keep them informed as we decide.
Well, the pie here, black mushroom, filled with vegetables, and the sauce at the bottom is quite delectable. I recommend it, and if you'd enjoy it, that'd be great.
Matt, did I have this pie before, I think?
You're muted.
I was going to ask you that question.
I thought I did. I remember it existing. Hang on.
Yeah.
I'm
If
just
you remember it
trying to
existing, then
remember.
you've probably had it.
Okay. Then, yes, I had the pleasure when I first got here, so this is exactly what I'm looking for.
Oh, good. Well, I had a feeling I wasn't original for a moment.
You can tell she's a lot more relaxed, finally being able to just talk.
You can tell he's pretty fucking tense.
Yeah. So it's complete opposite.
Yeah.
And the drinks haven't even happened. She's just
They
so
do
done.
come out.
Yeah.
2 big mugs, 2 Proward pies. Also, when they arrive and as you generally continue on conversation, you do notice you're getting quite a few looks. Not prying necessarily, and in fact, I'd say most of them are intentionally trying not to be noticed that they're looking. But it is a tiefling and a pantherkin tabaxi warrior who also were both involved in just saving kids from the town, sitting in this pub, conversing and eating Proward pie. So it's a very unique sight, and it's drawing a good number of attention.
About how far are we from the door?
Probably like 15, 20 feet.
How, okay, this is gonna be a little excessive. How well do I know the owner of the more extravagant Golden Rise?
I would say on a like just below first name basis.
Okay, good.
So like you're familiar with your acquaintances, but you're not friends per se.
I will slightly gesture under the table towards outside the door, and I am going to have somebody yell a different voice.
Uh-huh.
Hey yo, they're having 2-for-1s at the Golden Rise!
Okay, roll a deception check
Oh my god.
with advantage.
With advantage.
God, I love thaumaturgy. man.
Okay. So 14. Yeah, that's 18.
18. Okay.
Wow.
Interesting. I will say that everybody immediately perks up, and then the vast majority of people who are all these dirty, rough and tumbly, big gray beard farmers kind of grumble to each other and go back to what they're doing.
Damn it. Should've done the other
And
one.
like probably like a table or two and a couple people from the bar excitedly, they look like maybe they're more tourists who were here for the festival, get up and scuttle out.
Poor bastards.
You've reduced the and they were some of the biggest starers because
Okay. Good.
because of who they were compared to the
No
others.
longer poor bastards.
So
That was
it's a
the
little
hope,
bit
yeah.
less. Yes, it's a little bit less eyes on you in here now.
Sweet.
Well, to whatever lies tomorrow. I'll hold up a mug. Oh, hey,
Whatever.
there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Whatever.
Vanna and Seraph, you guys have a quaint and probably somewhat emotional dinner with Hannah. At least for Vanna. I don't know how emotional Seraph gets, or at least how much he shows. But it is delicious. The strawberry shortcake is incredibly good, unsurprisingly. And she has a guest room that she offers to you guys. Is there anything else that you two want to do? Nope. All right.
I don't really have anything now. Yeah.
Okay. You guys eventually, after I would say staying up for a while and talking with Hannah and reminiscing, she tells you a bunch of stories. You guys find your way to sleep. Brightwing, you and Mother Mia do have a quick meal, but then do a good amount of. I don't know if you can really call it experimenting when it's like medicinally nature-y, but it's something akin to experimenting. And eventually, she, you guys kind of finish up, and she makes a couple cups of tea. Well, I'm not sure about this because, well, this is very unique, and I've never seen anything like it, but there's a particular kind of tree in the Everfall Forest near Sawfeld, and the saplings have a leaf that has a certain oil. From what we've found, I believe it could be helpful. But it's quite a journey up there, and not something I would probably be able to do. Do you know if that's something you could help with?
I would be willing to go. I'm very new. I have all the words you spoke of the location I've never heard of.
Sawfeld is the nearest city north. They're also a farming city, but more they have large docks and they like to fish. That's their main difference from us. But there's a forest just south of the city. It's unique, and the trees there are unique, and I think that it may be of use.
I think I could go. Yes, if it would help. Yes.
Well, certainly I wouldn't want you to go alone, so if your group would go with you, that would be best. But if not, maybe I could accompany. It would be a long journey for me, and I haven't really gone that far in quite some time. And I will say that the sprinting on the horses last night was not kind to my bones. But, well.
Make sure to take hot bath and to elevate your legs tonight.
Ah, very wise. See, I told you were wise. And you guys continue drinking your tea, have some more conversation. The night fades on. Yasnip and Eclipse, are you guys gonna head back to rooms?
Yeah, I think after the pie and after just kind of chilling out, I will head back and finally leave him alone.
Do you have a place to stay for the night?
Well, a funny thing. The mayor said that wherever we stayed would be covered. So, but I don't think everyone else is kind of taking up that offer. So where do you recommend?
Well,
I don't really.
if you're trying to be swanky, the Golden Rise, which is apparently having a special, would be one. However,
I did hear about that. That sounds pretty neat.
Brightwing and I last night stayed at the Tilled Moon Tavern and Inn. I was going to be going back there for the night if you wanted to get a room there. It's not bad. The owner is nice.
I'm trying to remember where I stayed when I got here. I think that was where I stayed. Eclipse zones out while she checks her menu. Notes. Nope, I was a big doofus and didn't write it down. I'll say it was probably
That sounds right. Oh, yeah, I
Yep,
think you
yep.
probably did.
Let's go familiarity then. I will also head back there. I believe that's where I was when I first got here. So,
Okay.
We will both go and go to sleep.
Severum's vibe. Sleep.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say you guys both have your same rooms there, so you can easily head back to them.
Oh, you were just that. Wow. Okay.
It's been a rough couple days.
True.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
Anything anyone else wants to do before rest for the night?
You said there was a balcony?
There is, yeah. There's like a small curling staircase at the back of her house that opens up to a balcony. There's a bunch of vines and things up there, and it looks down over a small garden that she has in the back.
I think Brightwing sits on the balcony, swinging her legs against the railing. Reminds her of her own house, because it's up in like kind of a tree. That's how she built it. So I think she probably just stares out on the garden. Falls asleep when she falls asleep.
Okay. All right. Eventually morning comes. What do people want to do? I will say, some of you are woken, specifically Eclipse and Yosnib, since you're staying on the square, by the sounds of bustle that sounds very much like the bustle that you heard coming into town when the festival was kicking off. It seems that the town is maybe back into full gear.
I would knock on Brightwing's door again.
No response.
And then probably go downstairs to see if Eclipse gets up.
I think
Yeah, I'll take my time getting up.
Okay.
Meander down eventually.
I think Donna would. I feel like she's probably an early riser. That's just her thing. So I think she'd leave flowers in like a. Because I'm sure that Hannah has vases or something.
Mm-hmm.
And she put some flowers in there and leave them as her way of kind of, I'll be back. Like I'm just going out a little bit. I'll be back. Don't worry.
Okay.
And I think she's gonna go walk around and try to look for Brightwing, because she doesn't know where she went. She doesn't know where anyone is, but
True.
she's kind of concerned about Brightwing because she knew she was doing too much.
Okay. As soon as you head out into town, you do see that more or less the festival is back in swing. There is a very, very small, and it takes a decent passive insight even to notice it, bit of extra solemnity or solemnness. I don't know which is the correct word. That does exist, but it seems like the town is largely pushing to get past the sorrow with the joys of the festival and returning things to normal. So you see a bunch of the same events and booths and things that you saw before. You do notice that, and she was up probably just as early as you. Hannah is running the race that you saw, the Spudmaster Triathlon. That has been set up again. A bunch of people doing this odd and curious, and you don't even know what all is involved. Race with a bunch of potatoes and sacks and all kinds of things. Very curious. So you'll notice that, and she probably waves to you. Brightwing, what are you doing?
I don't know. Is Mother Mia there, or did she leave in the morning?
I think most likely when you woke up, she was out in the garden.
I think I probably would have joined her.
Okay. And stayed with her for the morning?
Probably.
Okay.
I don't think she would go to the festival.
Okay. So Vanna, I would say if you just want to look around for her in the square where it seems like most people are gathering, you wouldn't notice. If you want to go searching for her, that would be a different situation.
I think she is searching.
Okay.
Like I think she's trying to. She's looking for everybody, but she's going after Brightwing. Like she's looking for Brightwing.
Okay. Roll an investigation check. And Seraph, what are you doing? Are you staying? Are you with her?
I think probably not. I think Seraph actually is probably going to be staying back at the house and just kind of hang out there until somebody comes. But he's
Okay.
going to kind of take some time to recuperate, I think. Kind of
Okay.
take some time away from the group.
Sure.
It's an 11.
11?
Yeah.
Okay. And Yasnab and Eclipse, once you're up later in the morning, what are you guys going to do?
I think I'm gonna go do my patrol that I was originally doing. I think when the attack happened. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna check around, make sure everything's okay.
Okay. Yasmin?
I will accompany for the time being.
Okay. All right. Vanna, I would say that pretty early on, you do notice Yasnip and Eclipse walking around the square. You do not see Brightwing with them.
She'll wave. She'll put her hand up real tall.
I will also wave back, kind of gesture
Hi!
for her to come over.
She'll do a little skip over. Hi. Have you guys seen Brightwing?
No.
No, she wasn't in the inn last night.
That is very concerning, and I'm very worried. Can we go find her, please?
Yes.
Okay,
Also, I
great.
have someone for you to meet later, Vanna. But right now, Brightwing is more important.
Someone to meet?
Yes.
I'm very...
Okay, I will say one of the two newcomers can also roll an investigation check with advantage now that there's three of you.
Someone else, please.
Okay, I will do it.
I'm still on patrol while we're doing this. I will not be investigating.
That is a natural 20, Matt,
Wow!
for a 22.
Okay.
Wild surprises you.
Spidey senses.
Oh, thank God.
Perhaps it is the smell of the fresh nature that comes from Mother Mia's place that guides you, but very quickly you find yourself walking down a road and there is a fenced garden against a house, and in the garden you see Brightwing and Mother Mia.
Well, she appears to be with Mother Mia, and I point over to him, but kind of hang back.
Okay.
Brightwing?
Oh. Oh, Ati.
Hi, Wati. Where did you go? Well, here, obviously you went here, but...
I did not think you would want me around.
Why?
It's my fault your brother passed.
No. No, it's not. It is technically his fault because he made a stupid gun. And you did everything you could. And what
That
you
is
did,
the thing, Banna. I didn't. I relied on my own arrogance and my magic and not my skills as a healer. And because of that decision, I left your brother to die.
Is Mother Mia standing here?
I would say that she did the thing that people do when a tense conversation that's not her business
Yeah.
is involved, and kind of like pretended like she needed to do something on the other side of the garden.
Yeah, is there anything heavy that she needs help with? So I can also get out of the way?
Like, I'm about.
Yeah, she goes to like get a hoe to try to do something
I'm
on
gonna
that side, and the
help.
hoe's too big. Yes. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Brightwing. It is not your responsibility to take care of other people. That's not something that
That is, that's not my whole job, actually.
Well, then perhaps it is not your responsibility to take care of people before yourself. That may not feel like it. And yes, I was very worried about Seraph, but I know that being tired and being expended is very difficult to navigate when it comes to spells. And it is not your fault. I'm not angry with you because you did not just ignore him. You tried. You spent energy and focus on someone that she barely knew that is my brother, and for that I will forever be grateful simply because you tried. And he is still here, and it's okay because it was yesterday.
You should be thanking her. Just at the Mamma Mia.
You look over and see Eclipse attacking the ground with this gardening tool in a very warriorish way, and Mother Mia almost like,
Eclipse, that is not very nice. There are
"Oh, it's all right. She's getting more work done than I would in a day."
but the worms they're doing. Okay, all right. I would not want to lose you too, Brightwing. You are my first friend. And
Does
that's
that mean we
still
are
responsible.
girlfriends now?
Well, we are both girls and we are friends. So I guess
I'm gonna finish
you are
whatever
my
I'm doing.
girlfriend then. Okay. Does that make Eclipse my girlfriend too?
I like to think
You
I
say
have
that loud
finished what
enough
I'm
for Eclipse
doing,
to hear that?
and I have walked over at this point.
Oh, yes.
Just what?
And yes, this is good. So the mayor's horse would be my horse friend. Good.
Yes. Speaking of horse friends, completely off topic. Do you want to meet Crater?
What is Crater?
I don't know who's Crater.
Yeah, Snip, do you want to meet Crater?
This is very cryptic.
Sure.
Should
Okay.
Seraph meet Crater? Is this a thing that I should get him for?
You see her kind of hesitate and just kind of process with angles in her mind if that's a good idea.
Okay, it looks like the answer is no.
Not right
Right.
now.
That's fine. That's fine. It looks like the answer is no. He's probably still asleep anyway.
Probably. We should let him rest as much as possible. All right. So we'll meander our way over to
Okay.
the horse area.
I do want to pick one thing up if I can.
Okay.
I want to find a small bag and some birdseed.
Ah.
Yeah.
I would say that. Well, yeah, you can.
Well,
you can...
actually, to that point,
Yes.
that night, I was gonna do it for later, but if you're doing it for now, Brightwing's gonna get to where you're walking, and just not talk yet, but hand you a bag. And on the bag, it has like a stitching of a Y, but then it has like an N added that you can tell that was added because she didn't know what you mean.
Oh no.
So it like has a Y, but then like an N in the middle of it.
This is.
And it has seeds already inside.
Oh.
Thank you, Brightwing. This is perfect.
Oh my god, wait! You don't look like that.
Wait, what do you mean?
I know a thing or two.
Yes.
I'm pretty smart.
Yes, you are. Very smart. If we could.
Oh, is this a sensitive topic?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so
And
sorry.
I will give an explanation.
I thought this was like me turning into a fish.
No.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. Forget I said anything. What of my
Well-
memory? I'm sorry.
Okay.
No!
Well,
I said nothing.
believe
It is not
that
important.
I do owe an explanation. If you all would like to meet somebody else after Crater, that might be best. I believe that I owe it to all of you, and I look towards Brightwing, and to you especially. So,
We'll make this
off
fast.
to Crater.
Off to Crater.
But if,
Okay.
for the time being, please, if you could, don't say that out loud, please.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Okay.
It's a fun secret.
Wait, but okay.
Eclipse leads you over kind of to the northwest side of town, to a series of buildings. That you see sign says Dixie's Stables and Sundries, and you see several horses kept in some stables. And out a little ways, there's kind of like a large a pen feels like an understatement. It's like an area for them to run around, but it's a large fenced area.
Small pasture.
Yes,
Yes.
it's like a small fenced pasture. And as you guys walk up, you see on the other side of it, kind of out towards, away from the city, you see a woman, which only one of you has met. So for the others, more or less, she looks like Pink, the singer, with freckles, a blonde mohawk, kind of what you would call very handsome, beautiful features, blue eyes. And she's got simple pants, tall leather boots, a leather vest. She seems like a woman who's worked a good amount, but pretty and soft.
I want to be
And
girlfriends with her.
and
Oh my
you
god.
see her working, it seems working on a section of fence on the opposite side that is broken.
Oh shit.
And kind of shattered apart. There are large pieces of the fence that are kind of scattered. There are chunks missing, and she's kind of over there, like lifting things, tying things. You,
Yeah, I'm gonna go help.
when you get over to kind of eye shot, she looks up. Oh, good to see you. And your friends.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Dixie. Dixie Fletcher.
Dixie Fletcher. So this you are not greater then.
No.
No, he's safe in there, fortunately.
Oh my god, is he a horse?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I have had an interesting day. I'm going to walk away now. I'm so sorry.
No, Fauna, come back. Please. What happened?
And it's at this time when you kind of like get up to her, you see there is blood on her hands and on some
Whoa.
of her clothes, and there's like a small bandage wrapped around her left arm.
Whoa.
Are you
There's
alright?
I'm all right. There's every now and again we get an incursion from some kind of creature from a forest west of here, and it comes for horses. Yours is safe.
I'm not
But
that worried about it.
it's I guess when it gets hungry, it sometimes makes its way here. So one broke in last night or more. I don't really know. I've never seen them. I just know they're very dangerous. And they took a horse and made off with it, I suppose.
Would I have any inkling as to what that could be?
I will say two things. I will say you roll you roll an intelligence check, and the other three can roll a survival check.
What? Oh, my survival.
13.
16.
Damn!
That's a 7.
24, baby!
Wow, weewa!
I'm too busy imagining how much Crater would just kick the shit out of this thing. Absolutely destroy it.
Is that a natural 20?
No, it's a 19.
Damn.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so all of you, including Yasnip, notice kind of in a path from this break in the fence towards the stables, these gashes in the ground. They're very strange. It's like if somebody was wielding scythes but vertically and just like cutting gashes into the ground as it went. And covering it are drag marks and blood.
Ugh.
Yasnip, we said a 13?
14.
14? You know of a variety of predators from the surrounding areas, and there is a forest to the west that's relatively dangerous, and usually people don't go there. You don't know of a specific creature that matches description, but based off of what they point out on the ground, the fact that it took a horse like this, you're able to surmise it's more than like a wolf or something that farmers would typically be able to deal with,
Hmm.
and seems to be more dangerous than that and probably bigger. They've it happens every few months or so, and I've tried to strengthen the fences and strengthen the stables. It has helped a little bit, but every once in a while they'll get desperate enough, I suppose, and one of these attacks happens. I don't know what it is. I've been trying to figure it out, but I can't. I have no idea. It's a strange creature, I think.
One of the best way to deter predators is to make sure that the predator knows that the territory is taken. One such way is scent.
A scent that would scare it.
Yes.
Or just show dominance of another creature.
Well, I'll put some thought into it. I don't know when it'll come back. It usually comes at night. That's what happened last night. And I don't have anybody watching at night, so I don't know. I don't know how to deal with it.
Maybe we can take a look at it.
But as for right now, you could start with like larger normal predators. I don't know if you have anything like
There's some
made
dogs in
from-
town.
that will not work. I don't know if you've interacted with anyone that has hunted a bear or something, but something similar to that, something that could smell still like a bear, or something that would like stink a place up like a bear.
Or perhaps
But-
even smaller ones that are loud if they
That is
see
true.
something as a warning.
Vanha,
Yes.
Chickens?
could you be bear and walk around?
See, that is my
Ooh.
wonder. I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could become a creature of that kind of power yet.
Oh,
I feel like I would have to really, really focus and try to connect myself further.
no,
But I'm not
it's
sure.
alright. It took many years for people with your gift to understand to use it as well.
I will say this to you, Vanna. Because why the hell not? You know that you cannot become a full-grown bear,
Mm-hmm.
but you could probably become a bear cub.
Oh, please.
A
I think-
quite small one.
But does that have the same smell as a
I
full-size
don't think
bear?
it does.
Because I think that would
totally
actually
doesn't.
attract it more.
Well,
Yeah, 'cause it's
babies
a
definitely
cub.
don't have the smell of
Yeah.
grown humans, so if it's
Yeah.
similar to bears,
yeah.
probably not.
But it is a solid idea, but I think that might have a counter effect.
Yeah. It's generally if
Could you bring a preteen bear or a teenager?
generally
One going
with-
through puberty, you know, a
Puberty
lot of
bear.
hormones going on.
See if I. Wow, I'm really going through my repertoire of like hunter knowledge and scent shit. Because when you said that, immediately I was like, oh, you just need like a bottle of bear pee, bro. Gotta get,
Mm.
gotta get right rid of those guys.
I
But I don't have that. No, because a baby bear is not the same.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Let's
I
go
will
find a
figure it out.
bear.
We'll
I don't know if
brainstorm
I will
on that
find
one.
a bear.
Do they
Right
typically
now.
only attack once and then remain dormant for a few months?
They do. It's yeah, it's maybe happened now 3 or 4 times over the past couple years. It's rare, but when it happens, obviously it's messy. She gestures to the fence and the ground. And it hurts the business, obviously.
Maybe we can find something to possibly help in the short term, and then tracking it may be difficult, but who knows? I think we'll have to see what Seraph is interested in as well.
Is that another one of your group? I haven't met all of you, by the way.
Yes.
Oh.
You want to introduce yourselves? If we didn't already, I don't think we did. No?
She said her name, but no one else told her theirs.
Oh, well, I am Vanna. It is nice to meet you.
She
Seraph.
holds out her hand. Very firm handshake.
Oh, Seraph is my brother. He is not here right now, but he is. He is part of this. Yes.
He's around.
He's around. He's at Henda's house.
Ah. And you two?
I am Brightwing.
Pleasure.
Yes.
And I am Yasnib.
Same.
Um,
Did you want to see your horse?
Yes, please.
All right.
are you alright? Pointing to the bandage.
Oh yeah, it was after the fact, trying to clean up this mess. Clumsy.
Would you allow me? Could heal it if you're not mind.
Roll a charisma check.
Oh, so this totally isn't from after. Cool.
Wow.
Charisma. 13?
She seems hesitant. Not necessarily so much about you, but maybe about the magic when you mention it. But eventually she nods and unties the bandage.
How bad is it?
Not bad. It looks like a small scrape, like from a piece of wood, maybe.
Oh, then I'm just gonna do a healing word on you, and I'm not gonna waste.
Also, I've absolutely helped her with the fence. That is like,
Okay.
while we're talking.
Sure.
7 hit points.
Okay. Wow, that's pretty good. Okay.
You
You
have a
see
+5 modifier, yeah.
the wound kind of close itself, and she kind of flexes her arm. I appreciate that. Yeah, I guess we can. Well, you know where your horse is. I'm gonna keep working. If that's all right.
Yeah, of course. Do you need any help or?
No. I've done this before. I can do it again. It's no problem.
Okay. If anything else happens, please, we'll be right here.
Of course.
And I'm gonna wander over to Crater.
All right. Eclipse leads you up to a horse that looks like.
I think I had a picture of it. Hang on.
You did. You sent it
I have
to
to find him again. Hang on. It's been a while. Where is he?
Didn't know we had a 6th party member.
I'm so worried about him.
Would it
till we
technically
get
be
back.
7th because we also have tricks?
Oh, we do. Yep.
We do have tricks.
Okay.
True.
Hang on. What did I do with that?
Tricks.
Wait till we get back to milkweed.
Oh my.
Man, I'm really excited. Okay. If I remember correctly, it was a kind of like a gray, like a light gray horse that has like black speckles on it. It
Yeah.
basically looks like the surface of the moon as a horse.
That's why his name's Spider.
Yeah.
Majora's
Oh.
Mask moon face.
So he's just
I
really like messy
absolutely
looking, like on
adore
the skin and everything. He does not look like a perfect horse in any way. He's just
a horse.
generic
A horse.
gray speckled horse.
I'm
But he's a
100%
champ.
casting Speak with Animals, which so I
Okay.
can talk to creatures.
Go ahead. And as you guys get up there, she's just like, saw you were making friends with horses yesterday, so I figured you guys could get to know Crater a little better.
I'm going to say Yasnip, roll an animal handling check.
Oof.
And I don't know if you guys have ever met somebody that has like a dog that's a little aggressive, but she has that kind of vibe while she's trying to introduce you to Crater.
13.
Okay. Yeah, so when your group walks up, Crater seems surprisingly okay with the nature ladies, or at least
Mhm.
surprising for his normal behavior, maybe
Yeah.
not for them.
Yeah.
But Yasnip, he kind of like blows a big snort out and kind of stamps back a little bit.
Mhm.
I
It's
respect
okay,
the
buddy.
space,
They're
and
friends.
I take a step back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I heard that your name is Crater. Yes, indeed. I have a gift for you as a show of good faith. And she's going to reach into one of the various pockets in her robe and pull out 3 sugar cubes.
Oh shoot.
This is a gift for you.
Before you can even finish saying what you're saying, he licks them all up. Chomps on them happily. Brightwing, you finish casting your spell.
Yeah. What the crater, right?
Oh, that is my name, yes.
Love this. Crater's the best.
I will die for this
Oh my
horse.
God.
Same. I almost did.
You are friends with Eclipse, right?
She is
She's
my
speaking in her native
master.
tongue, by the way, so you
Okay. She's my master, yes.
You seem like a very protective friend.
Oh, I try to be, yes.
You are wonderful. Did you know that? It's just very nice to talk to you.
Well, very nice of you to say. Flicks its tail.
So, are you from where Eclipse is from, or are you from somewhere different?
Oh, I don't know where I'm originally from. It's been a long time, but I grew up with her actually in the city.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How long have you known each other?
If you could see a horse's brows furrow in thought, they do. However long I've been alive, I'm not exactly sure how long that is.
Oh, really?
It feels like many seasons.
Mm-hmm. I am of 19 seasons.
Is that old for a two-legged?
I don't know. It is very adult for my people.
I'm not exactly sure, but that seems old for me. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, you seem to be very strong horse.
That is definitely right. And he stomps his feet, kind of flexes as much as a horse can.
I'll look to Eclipse, speaking in common. Your horse is very, very friendly.
That's surprising.
He's
I think
very
I'm getting the other
sweet.
end of the spectrum.
That's the surprising part.
Yes. Crater. Yes.
Hmm.
This is Yasnip. He is alright as well.
Hmm. He smells kind of funny.
I'm doing this in Herc tongue. I will admit I am not very sure myself. I have some distrust, but
Distrust.
not in the I will die sort of way, more in the I don't know.
He kind of like clops forward up to Yasnib. Well, are you letting him out of the stable? I guess I should ask that
No,
first.
he's
Okay.
still in there. We're just hanging out.
He clops up to where his chest bumps against the front of the stable and kind of pokes his nose towards Yasnib. And he does that thing that horses do when they open their lips and bare their teeth. I don't know about him.
This next conversation's gonna fucking suck.
This is going so well.
Oh my god.
I will be honest, I don't know either. But he's been a friend so far, so I must trust in that. Of a friend.
If you need me to kick him or something, just let me know.
I appreciate the protectiveness of someone you've just met. That's very kind of you. But I am alright.
Oh, that's good.
We just had a long rest.
Yes?
We did.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Are you gonna make a new horse friend?
Oh no. Oh boy.
Sorry.
You'll have time. Don't worry.
Oh no.
We can do it on the road.
Yeah, he's
Oh, there is
technically
a
gonna be
god.
with us. So like, you know.
True.
Yeah, I'm just goofing.
Yeah. He's just
Safety
here
any
while we're
moment.
in town. If we go anywhere, he's coming with us. So like, don't worry about it.
Well, it was very nice to meet you, Crater. And
Oh.
I
Same.
will hope you have a good day. Awata.
Well, I'll have a great day. I just got 3 sugar cubes. And whatever you said about twat wawala. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Where are you guys heading now?
Oh my god.
Let's go pick up my brother.
Yeah, I give
I
Crater
swear-
hip pats and we head out.
I will not be okay if something happens to that horse.
So happy you guys got
Listen, the
some
more
meat.
animal friends you guys make, the better chance there is one of them's gonna die.
He already killed
Well, the
an
worst
NPC,
thing is,
okay?
I had him, and then the whole thing before happened, and I was like, oh man,
Yep.
we're like setting the fire.
Oh, I've decided. Midnight's actual name is Tallow. Thank you very much.
Oh, I love
Okay,
it.
good to know.
I
Good to
love
know.
this a lot. Oh my God.
Okay, you guys are heading back towards where Seraph is.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
let Vana lead the way on that one.
Seraph, have you stayed in the house? It's probably like 11 or 12 by now, almost lunchtime.
Yeah, I think he's just hanging out in like a windowsill or something, just kind of like, you know.
Wondering when your
Sitting in
husband
it.
will come home from the Civil War.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
You know, he's
Mournfully
kind of
looking
just
out. Mhm.
yeah. Well, no, so he's sitting up in the windowsill. He's got like bloodlust in his hand. He's just kind of twirling the barrel absentmindedly, still processing like everything that has happened or will happen, and just trying to like rationalize things in his head, I guess.
May 16th, 1861.
I wish it was raining on the windowsill.
Yep, yep, yep.
But it's not. It's sun's shining.
Some really sad music playing in the background, like some Sarah McLachlan, you know.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. You guys make your way back to Hannah's house. Seraph is there.
Seraph, look who I found. It's everyone.
Oh, wonderful. And he just crack the neck, and he'll just hop out of the windowsill, holster bloodlust. So, what exactly is the plan then?
And that's where we'll end session 6.
Yeah.
Good.
With
Boy.
a whole lot of horsing around and absolutely no addressing of huge elephants in the room.
I love it.
I'm
Amazing.
sorry.
I
We
love
God,
it.
hated it.
we did nothing.
Yes.
We
And
did-
I
I
love
had
it.
a
No.
time.
We did what we thought we were going to do last time.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Right.
But we
You're
added the
right.
trauma.
Yeah, but we added the trauma.
True.
100%.
Steroid shot of trauma.
Wow. Wow.
Nothing can
Okay.
happen to the horse.
Yeah, lots of horse friends were made.
Yup.
This is one of those episodes where, like, you need to watch this
Crater
episode to, like, understand anything. You don't have to.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if you miss out, you're gonna miss out on a lot of fun.
Mhm.
True. Big
This is
facts.
definitely a filler episode.
Is it a
I'm
filler
Big
episode?
facts.
Yes.
No.
Will inside jokes be born from it? Yes.
100%.
Yes.
Mhm.
This is the
Yup.
cow.
All right. Favorite moments? Any specific ones?
I cannot pick.
Comic voice.
There was a lot
Or,
of
I'm
horse
sorry,
moments to choose
Crater's
from.
voice. Crater's voice, for sure.
Crater's
Yeah,
voice
actually,
honestly
Yeah,
just
Crater's
killed
I
voice.
was
me.
really happy.
I
with
was
that.
dead
Great.
instantly.
Was so great.
When Tallow had like a cool dude voice, I was like,
Oh
oh,
my god.
Hmm.
Yeah, I honestly thought it was going to be Tiffany. I was like,
Yeah.
"Fuck, let's go! I was so excited, and then it didn't happen. I was sad.
Tiffany has transcended realms.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
God, I miss
Crossover.
Tiffany. Yes.
Mhm.
We'll find
Also-
another one.
I don't
We will find
appreciate the
Tiffany.
whole anti-wingman thing that apparently horses have against Yasnip right now.
Isn't it wild?
True.
It's even funnier because the dog that I had was mildly aggressive to strangers and did not like men. So I was like, amazing.
Yes,
Just so
there are two ladies with very naturey
Mhm.
personalities, and it is not hard for a horse to like them. And then there is a tiefling dude with no naturey friendliness.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We'll get you sugar cubes. You can bribe
True.
him.
Got to
There we
start
go.
building up the
Yeah.
trust there.
No, I've got plans. I have
Okay,
plans.
okay.
Oh, good.
Perfect.
Very good.
I'm excited. Oh,
Wow.
Well,
I was
I've gotta
playing
get-
that girlfriend joke from a long time.
Oh yeah.
of course.
that one is really good.
Oh,
horses
gotta
and
get
Vana
going.
talking is
Oh,
awesome.
Oh right,
okay.
yeah, it is getting late.
We
Because
will-
Yep.
him down there, he's getting real antsy.
antsy.
So I gotta put him to
Word.
bed.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Bye-bye,
Well,
recording.
perhaps
Bye-bye,
in session
recording.
7 things will happen, but until then,
Eh?
we enjoy
You know
doing
what?
nothing.
You know what happened
you know,
today?
sometimes you just want
Giggles.
to talk to horses, and
Just
then
want to talk to
and we
horses.
all had our own like, man, life sucks moment to
Mhm.
ourselves, but not to
Mm.
anybody else. Sometimes you just need that.
Yep, yep.